I used to think forgiveness was something that we did to make somebody else feel better, or something that happened in the movies when somebody did something really bad. Well, recently something happened and it changed my perspective a little bit. Some friends of mine were in a rough spot in their marriage, and they asked me if I could help kind of smooth things out. And I was having a hard time with it, and I came home and I asked my wife, how do I make two people forgive each other? And she said, well, have they tried praying? No, I hadn't thought about that. I actually wanted to tell them some concrete steps to take. And she said, well, what were the concrete steps that you took when you forgave your brother? And I didn't have an answer to that. 18 years later, and I hadn't gotten around to that. My mom and my brother left Chicago to pick me up in La Crosse, Wisconsin. My 1973 Volkswagen Bug had broken down yet again. And my mom said, I've got a room for you at the Holiday Inn. Just go there. We're going to come pick you up. But it was late, and my brother was young. And he was driving into the night, and there was an accident. And my mom died. And thankfully, my brother walked away safely. And he and I immediately started the process of stuffing our feelings, anger and sadness and regret and shame. And we decided immediately that we had to be big and we had to be bold and we had to prove to the world that we were going to be able to overcome this. And it was time for us to be adults. But we weren't adults. We were just these little kids, and we had to go to college, and we had to have jobs, and I had a lot of whiskey to drink. So I thought that I was the type of person that was going to talk through this type of tragedy, and that I would never stuff my anger and pretend like it wasn't there. But I did. And I realized that thanks to my wife, that there was something that I had to do, because I got home and she said, what did you do to forgive your brother? And I was upset. I said, how dare you suggest that there was anything that he needed to be forgiven for? He was innocent. But then the rest of me was just tired of pretending that I wasn't angry anymore. And so I asked myself, could I forgive my brother for not making it a little farther? Could I forgive my mom for not wearing a seatbelt? Could I forgive myself for putting myself in a position where I needed to be rescued? And I said, yeah, I can. And so the next step I did was I named it. I named the actual things that I was angry about. I was angry at my brother for falling asleep at the wheel. And I was angry at my mom for being so irresponsible, utterly irresponsible, and at myself for being so selfish. And then I was like, well, can I just let go of all that crap? Can I move on? And I was like, yes, I can. Please, I want to. And so I committed. I committed to forgiving us all. And the next step was magic, and it made the rest of my life since that moment better. The relationship my brother and I have now is the best it's been in 18 years. And what I needed to do was examine myself. I needed to look in and see like a full body scan where it prints out a report and it actually names all of the things that you're actually angry about. And I took each one of those and I looked at the words, anger, and I was able to let it go. And through that, I was able to commit to forgiveness. And the next step was out of my control. And it was just grace. Grace took over everything. And it washed away all of my anger and sadness. And I was, rather than absolving, I was actually absolved. Because grace was the thing that came in and took over. And I was free from it. Forgiveness is a really great gift that you can give somebody else. But it's actually the best gift that you can give yourself. Thanks for your time.